25th of July, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Do Bava Metzia. Okay.
Rabbi.
Yeah, I just was looking at that medrash. It does quote about the Kisei HaKoved and the Tchelis.
Right.
Medrash Rabbah.
Breshis Rabbah.
Yeah. What was interesting is that it said though that the Kisei, the lesson of it was Yisim oso velo osa, she'im asita kain, ke'ilu kisei kavod ata ro'eh, shehu doime l'tcheles. This measure says that the kisei kavod is doma, is comparable to the tcheles.
Right.
Okay, so it's not it's okay.
So that's consistent with what I was thinking. That that Oso refers to the Chelis, not to Hashem.
Yeah, it's not talking about Hashem.
But it's also odd that it's Oso singular. It should be plural. It should be them. You look at them, the tzitzit, because tzitzit is plural.
Well, that's what the medrash is saying. It's not going on the tzitzis. It's going on the kisei kavod. Kisei kavod is she masita kain. If you do this, whatever this is, it's keilu. It's as if you're looking at the kisei kavod. Keilu kisei kavod ata ro'eh.
When you look at the tzitzit, it's ke'ilu, you're looking at the kisei kavod.
Yeah. Yeah, what's bothering me, it doesn't really say about looking, it doesn't really, yeah. In other words, it doesn't say that you'll look at the tzitzis and the tzitzis will remind you of the kisei HaKavod. It says if you'll do this, whatever this is, you'll that was also bothering me. It's not clear what it is it's referring to when it says if you'll do this. Risimoso prat l'ksus laila but sechir l'misha eno roe ria shet l'misha roe risimoso oso below oso shimasita kain. It's a bit mysterious.
What pasuk is it in the Bereshis Rabbah?
It's Parsha Yud Zion, and it's it's so difficult to find this. It's very difficult to find the. It's practically the last 20 lines of Parshas Shlach. In other words, the last parsha of Parshas Shlach is Parsha Yud Zion, and that's where it is. And it's towards the end of Parsha Yud Zion in Parsha Shlach.
Got it. Thank you. I'll in Mitzvah Hashem, I'll check it out also.
Yeah, if you would have I think the Art Scroll has has an elucidation of Bereshis Rabbah. I mean, the Medrash Rabbah. I think they would have this too. I wouldn't interested to see what they say about this drasha, this Medrash.
Yeah.
To me, it's a bit hidden.
You just muted yourself.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So we are ready to go to Tana Rabbanan. Shnai Madukim Vishtar.
On 7A3, left-hand column, last line on the column.
Okay. Welcome to Phil and welcome back to Alan. And I see Roy is coming in too.
Yeah.
Oh, he's away, but he's going to come in. Okay. What's that, Phil?
I'm going to have to be heading out later, but I'll just listen in. Just won't be able to read later as I have to get out. I have to be somewhere, so I'll be taking a bus, but I'll still listen in.
Oh, okay, good.
I've been here for a while. You know, got 15 minutes before I have to head down to catch the bus.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's go. Okay, it's Tana Rabbanan. Lou, you want to read Tana Rabbanan?
The rabbi started the brisa. Shinaim adukin bishtar. Two of them are holding on to a contract. My English says a note of indebtedness. Malveh Omer Sheli hu v'nafal mi meni umitzasiv. Okay, so the creditor, the lender, says it's mine. It fell from me and I found it.
Right.
Belova Amar Shelcha hu Uferativ Lecha. The borrower says, it was yours, but I repaid to you. Yis kayem ashtar bekos mav. You have to certify the document with its signatories, with the witnesses. Divrei Rebbe, these are the words of Rebbe.
Mm-hmm.
Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, Yachloku, divide it.
Oh, very interesting. Okay. We have some Rashi over here for Phil. Oh, Shnayim Adukim Bishtar.
Shtayim adukim b'shatar, two are granted, holding on to a star. Okay. Hamalva v'halova. So the two people holding the star is the borrower and the lender.
Ah,
Those
okay.
are the two people. So
Those are the ones that are holding on to this star. The borrower is holding on to it, and the lender is holding on to it. So that,
and then it's shalachu. He says shalachu. It's yours. V'haparne v'hapartim. But I've already paid you back. The chazarali, and I've returned it to me. You returned it to me, mimena, and for me it fell. Like
right.
it's like he gave him the after he repaid him, he gave him back the star back, so you should rip it up, and it fell. But I've already repaid this.
Each of them says it fell, and then we both grabbed it.
Yeah, one of them is a shameless liar, right?
Right. But it's interesting that the one who says certify it, I don't see his logic, because nobody's disputing the validity of the star. What they're disputing is how it got into their hands. So certifying it isn't going to do anything.
Well, it's just saying it's a good star. That's what the certifying is doing.
But they agree it's a good star. So
good star. That's what it's saying. It has nothing to do about the repaying. It's only saying, yes, that's the star that we signed. You're having, so to speak, the witnesses to the star saying, yes, that's my signature. That's what it's saying.
How does that help?
Help what? It's making the borrower, the lender, say, hey, look, it was a good star. I really did lend you the money. But the fact is, he's trying to say, I paid it and I gave it back to you. That's what the borrower was saying. I've already repaid it, so therefore I don't owe you this money anymore. But there was a star that was written at one point that I lent you the money. But now he's giving it back, so it fell. So the question is, who? His line is that, oh, you owe me the money. And the other guy says, no, I repaid it, which is not listed in the star at all. It has nothing to do with that. It's just saying it's a good star.
I think Lou has a good question. In other words, the law was not disputing that he borrowed the money. He's basically admitting that he borrowed the money. He's saying the money that I borrowed, the money that I borrowed from you, I paid it back. So the question is, what's the use of what is going to accomplish to validate this star by certifying that the signatures are authentic signatures? Nobody's disputing that the star is a valid star, but the question is really who it fell from, and because that is going to determine for us whether the star was already paid or not. So I'm interested to see what Rashi says about this. These are the words of Rebbe. Rebbe says that we have a machlokes tanoim over here. Rebbe says yiskayim hashtar b'chosamav, that the star has to be validated in the Beis Din by authenticating the signatures, and then we'll see what. Let's take a look at Rashi. What's the maybe Rashi will help us answer. Maybe Rashi's bothered by this question also. He's gonna deal with it.
Well, this next Rashi is saying Yitkiyem Hashtar B'Chatonim, that the star was, certified with its signatures. Kasal Kedaita, that he should be taught the Hachi Kama. This is said, Im Hashtar Kosher, if the star is really a good star, because we certified the wisdom, Lomat say, Katav in our hand, Harihu Bechaskato. It's in his, it's under his strength and position.
Harihu Bechaskato.
Yeah, well, Cheska is the establishment of where it is. It's where it is. He's got the place.
When Rashi says, okay, first of all, Rashi's saying Kosol Kadaita. This is something that Rashi's pointing out. This is what the Gemora thinks right now. And it's something that the Gemora is going to go away from. Kosol Kadaita, right now, the Gemora is thinking, or Hachikama im hashtar kosher. If the star is kosher, if it's a kosher star, how is it that we're going to show that it's a kosher star? Shikaimu chosamav. We're going to authenticate the signatures on it. Lomer ksav yadenu. So we're going to have the guys come in and say, yes, that's my signature. I signed on this star. So then what? Harehu b'cheskoso. So therefore, it is in its chazaka. Chazaka of what? I think what Rashi means is Harehu b'cheskoso. Since we've don't know why we need to validate the star, but since it is has been valid, if it will be validated in that way that Rebbe says that it needs to be done, so then it'll be b'cheskoso, meaning that the malva will be able to collect with it.
Because we presume that the malva is the one who has possession of it. That's the status quo once we've certified it. So we don't presume that the status quo has changed, i.e., we don't presume that he gave it to the borrower. The borrower said, you gave it to me, and I dropped it. And I think what Rashi is saying is that we have a situation where this one, we know he had it at one point because we've just certified that it's a valid star. Therefore, that's the status quo. Now we have two people saying, I had it. So we're going to believe the one for whom it is the status quo that he had it.
In other words, Harehu b'chez very good. Harehu b'chezkaso means that we've established this star as a kosher star. What does it mean that we have a kosher star? A kosher star is it's capable of being used to collect what it says in the star is owed. That's what a kosher star is. It's muchzak as it has a legal presumption of being a valid and a kosher star. A valid and a kosher star, the malva could collect with such a star. But maybe it's been paid off. Yeah, maybe it has been. So how do we know Well, that burden of proof will fall on the Levitt to prove that it's been paid. But right now, according to Rebbe, that we have validated this star is now b'cheskaso. It's presumed that it's a star which is which has strength to it. The strength of a star is you could collect with it. So if so, then he'll be able to collect with this star now. So that's perhaps what Rebbe is saying, that we need to validate the star. We need to validate the star to prove to demonstrate that it's b'cheskaso. Because the Lov is not, he's not admitting that. He's saying that it's not b'cheskaso. He's saying he paid it. But if we establish it b'cheskaso, Rebbe is saying that will throw the burden of proof onto the Lova to have to prove that he has paid it. It won't be enough to just say, I paid it. Okay, but what does Rabbi Shimon Gamliel say? He says Yachloku. We have a Rashi on that?
No. Well, there's a whole question of him dropping it. It's a question of did he give him back? Instead of giving him a receipt that you paid me back the money, he gave him back he's claiming he gave him back the star. That's his proof. So now you don't have a star anymore to go collect. And I just dropped it. So it really should be mine that I just dropped it. You gave it to me. So there's really no proof either way on that one.
I think that's what Reb Shimon ben Gamliel is saying. He's saying we don't go by chazaka. We have a situation here where two people are each making a believable claim. We have no way to decide who's right, therefore divided.
Let's see. Oh, it's interesting. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, he was the father of Rebbe. So here you have a father and a son contending over what's the correct din over here.
Really?
Oh, and this is there's a Tosus about this on Daf Daled. Don't wonder about this. Don't wonder about this. How could it be that the son can argue and disagree with his father? Why not? Why shouldn't we wonder about that? Says Tosus, because this is not the only time that Rabbeinu HaKodesh argued with his father about halacha. Don't wonder about it. It's nothing new over here.
Generation gap.
Where is this Tosus? Oh. Okay, anyway, so that's interesting. Oh, interesting. Then I have a note here that one of the commentators in the back of the Gemora, the Mordechais, he says, "Afsha asula ben listor divrei aviv," even though it's a matter of halacha of kibbud av v'em. Kibbud av v'em says that a son is not allowed to contradict the words of his father. So what about what Rebbe is doing over here? So he says, no, this is Ein ze ela b'fanav. Ach shelo b'fanav yochol listor devorav v'lachlo. That we say that he can he cannot contradict the words of his father, that's when he's bafana. I got an echo over here. What's the problem? Oh. Okay.
Stop.
Okay, now I'm. Oh, but he has another question. So in any case, it's not regarded as a violation of kibbud av v'em, because that's only to contradict the words of your father in his presence. But this is not regarded as being in his presence. Anyway, but what's the okay? So okay, so the Gemara is going to continue with this issue here, but we got the basis of it. So Phil is on his way, and right. So that's the. Shim Gamliel says that the Malvin and Lova will split it. In other words, the Lova will only now pay half of the amount that it says in the star. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go on. The Gemara says, Nafal liyad dayan. Roy, you want to read? Please.
Nafal liyad dayan. I just saw it. If the document fell into the hand of a judge, is that it?
Yeah.
Lo yotziu alomis. The principals cannot ever retrieve the document from him. Reb Yosei Omer, Harehu Bechis Kesar. The document retains its status as a valid document.
So according to the first position, if nobody can retrieve the document, then that means that's the benefit of the borrower. Because
Right.
if the lender cannot retrieve the document, he has no way of collecting.
Well, he could bring witnesses that say that they saw that he borrowed the money.
Ah,
But why
The whole what?
But why shouldn't the judge show the document?
What? Why should he do?
Yeah. Why shouldn't the judge show the document to prove that he didn't pay or did pay or whatever?
Well, how does the judge know? He doesn't know anything.
The document is not certified somehow.
no, the problem, Roy, is that we don't know who dropped the document.
Oh,
The judge
Okay.
found it, but he doesn't know if it was dropped by the lender, and therefore the lender should get it and he
mhm.
can collect, or maybe it was dropped by the borrower after the lender gave it to him because he paid.
So someone could be lying about it belonging about having it. It should be given
Correct.
to him.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
That's what's happening here. One of them is lying. In other words, in the case of our Mishnah, Shnaim Ochsim Batalis, two people come into the Bezdin holding on to the talis. And each one of them says it belongs to them. It could be that they both picked it up at the same time, and neither one of them realizes that the other one picked it up at the time that the other one picked it up. It's a bit remote, but it is
Possible.
it's a theoretical possibility. Over here, we have no theoretical possibility. This star either fell from the borrower, and that means that it was already paid and given back to him, because that's generally what happens. When somebody lends money, the lova gives the borrower gives the lender a star, which says that I owe you money, and it's signed by two witnesses. So as long as he's got it, the lender, there's a presumption that the loan has not been paid. When the guy pays it, so he gives them back he gives it back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the borrower pays, the lender gives him back the document. The borrower says, okay, now I don't want to take a chance that this document will get lost and find its way back into the hand of the lender. So I'm going to destroy it. So he destroys it. Now the lender says, I'll bring witnesses to prove that I loaned him the money and I'll collect. He can't do it.
Well,
Borrower will say, hey, the witnesses are true. You did lend me the money, but I paid you. So
yeah, but he
get out of
can't.
here.
No, but he couldn't show him the document. If he was destroying the document, he'd be gone. The fact is, he didn't destroy the document. That's the problem.
No, I'm giving you a different case. I'm
Oh.
saying, let's say he did destroy the document. The lender cannot bring witnesses now because the borrower will say, I destroyed it. So you can't, if the lender does not have the document, he's stuck.
If witness says he did borrow, we saw him borrow, but we signed the document, that's not good enough. If the document's not there, but after all, the document is testimony to the borrowing going on, and so are the witnesses, but in a different form. The
Right.
form of the testimony is by witnesses, or the form of the testimony is by a document that's been witnessed. No?
I think that's correct.
And so if there are only the witnesses, well, we use the only witnesses for all sorts of things. So why not for this? Even if what they signed is not there, the fact that they saw and witnessed it and a testimony and are willing to make a testimony to it, sure, then I don't know.
If the borrower wants to protect himself, what he should do is do what the lender did. What did the lender do? The lender got witnesses to witness the fact that he lent $1,000 to this borrower. So he's got the witnesses, and he also got a star. He doesn't have to have a star. You could lend money in front of witnesses. You don't have a star. It's a good idea to write a star. It might even be an obligation to write a star, so that to prevent machlekes, I think the Chafetz Chaim says in Abbas Chesed. But that not with whatever it is. but so you're asking, so what's the recourse of the borrower? You know what he should do? When he pays the money back to the lender, he should also have witnesses.
Mhm.
So he's
Once,
got
if
a
he has
second document
witnesses,
now?
what?
He's got a second document now that says, I paid you back?
Well, that's something else. It's called a shover. A shover is a document that says that he paid. But he could do that also.
Can't the original star be endorsed?
Well, that's the thing. If a star is authenticated, and the witnesses are authenticated, so then we have here a dispute between Rebbe and Rebbe Shimon Gamliel whether that means that the star can be collected with.
Well, what I meant was, can't it be endorsed that it's been paid? This star has been paid, signed. The borrower,
That's what.
the lender.
Well, that's what a shover is. A shover is a document that the loan has been paid.
Yeah, but I mean on the original star, I'm saying, not a separate one.
You could make the shover on the star itself. Yeah,
Mhm.
you could do that. But if I was a Lova, I wouldn't want to do that. I would want to have a separate document that says that I paid him.
Why? Well, it'd be better.
Because maybe he's going to cut out the last 5 lines.
Oh, all right. You'll see that that's done.
Maybe he's going to do a good job, and it's not going to be able to be so simple.
Maybe he's got an X-Acto knife.
All
I
right.
want something in my hand that says that I've paid.
Okay.
I think we're at
So
time.
just like he wants a star that proves that he lent, I want a star that says that I paid.
Right. That makes sense.
Lou, 4 o'clock. Lou?
Yes, sir. 4 o'clock. Sounds good.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Hey,
All right.
Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi
Shabbat
Levitt.
shalom to Phil.
Have a good Shabbos,
Sorry
Phil.
about bumping out.
Thank you.
It's like a nice bust there, Phil.
Well, it's a bus. Call it what you want.